Hey dandies, it's me, Rob the Dandy Gamer, and it's great to see you this morning, afternoon, or evening, depending where in the world you are. On today's Retro Reminiscence, we're taking a deep dive into a classic that's close to the hearts of many, Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Join me as we explore the rich history of its development, dissect its gameplay mechanics, appreciate its graphics, and relish the unforgettable soundtrack. Before we plunge into the lush jungles and underwater realms of Donkey Kong Country, let's take a more profound look at the game's fascinating development and release. Picture this. It's the early 90s, and Rare, the brilliant minds behind GoldenEye and Banjo-Kazooie, is tasked with reviving the iconic Donkey Kong franchise for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. At the time, 3D graphics were considered the cutting edge, and Rare was determined to push the SNES to its limits. The development team faced numerous challenges in bringing their vision to life. The hardware limitations of the SNES were apparent, but they ingeniously employed pre-rendered 3D models to create a visually stunning experience. The decision to go with this technique wasn't just a technical leap, it was a paradigm shift in how we perceived graphics in 2D platformers. Rare's use of pre-rendered sprites wasn't just a technical marvel, it set a new standard for the industry. The characters and environments in Donkey Kong Country looked three-dimensional, popping off the screen in a way that was mind-blowing for its time. This innovative approach not only showcased the technical prowess of the developers, but also demonstrated the untapped potential of the SNES. When Donkey Kong Country finally hit the shelves in 1994, it wasn't just a game, it was a revelation. The gaming community was awestruck by the visuals, and critics hailed it as a triumph of innovation. The success of Donkey Kong Country didn't just elevate Rare's status in the industry. It left a lasting impact on how developers approached graphics in 2D games. It was a pivotal moment that paved the way for future advancements in visual design. It's time to swing into the heart of the gaming experience, the gameplay mechanics and controls. Rare's innovation didn't stop at the graphics. They brought a fresh and engaging gameplay style that captivated players from the moment they picked up the control. At the core of Donkey Kong Country's gameplay is the dynamic tag team system between Donkey Kong and his trusty sidekick, Diddy Kong. This unique mechanic adds a strategic layer to the gameplay. Players can seamlessly switch between the two characters, each with their own set of abilities. Donkey Kong, being the powerhouse, can defeat larger enemies and break obstacles, while Diddy Kong is more agile and nimble, allowing for quicker movement through challenging terrain. The controls in Donkey Kong Country are precise and responsive, allowing players to execute a range of movements with ease. Rolling, a signature move, not only barrels through enemies, but also provides a speed boost. The jump mechanics are intuitive, with varying jump heights based on how long the player holds a button. These seemingly simple controls open up a world of possibilities, especially when navigating the diverse and challenging levels. And Donkey Kong Country introduces the concept of animal buddies, adding yet another layer to the gameplay. Riding the back of creatures like Rombi the Rhino, On Guard the Swordfish, and Espresso the Ostrich offers unique abilities and advantages. These animal buddies not only provide a sense of variety, but also enhance exploration and open up hidden paths within the levels. And the game encourages exploration with a plethora of collectibles and secrets scattered throughout the levels. From hidden passages to bonus rooms, players are rewarded for thorough exploration. Collecting bananas, Kong letters, and special tokens not only boosts your score, but also contributes to the sense of accomplishment, making every level a joyous adventure of discovery. DKC's difficulty progression is finely tuned, offering a challenging experience without being overly punishing. The early levels serve as a gentle introduction to the mechanics, gradually ramping up in complexity. As you progress, the game introduces new obstacles, enemies, and environmental hazards, ensuring that players are constantly engaged and compelled to improve their skills. No exploration of the gameplay mechanics would be complete without discussing the engaging boss fights. Each boss encounter is a unique challenge, requiring a combination of pattern recognition and skill. From the giant beaver, very naughty, to the menacing King K. Rool himself. These battles are memorable and contribute to the overall satisfaction of completing each world. As we navigate through the diverse and challenging landscapes of Donkey Kong Country, the meticulous design of gameplay mechanics becomes evident. The tag team system, precise controls, animal buddies, collectibles, and engaging boss fights all contribute to the enduring appeal of this classic. With the gameplay mechanics at our fingertips, let's venture deep into the heart of Donkey Kong Country's world. The intricately designed levels. Rare's dedication to creating a captivating platforming experience is on full display as players journey through the diverse environments, encountering challenges that test their skills and reward their exploration. DKC boasts an impressive variety of environments, each with its own distinct visual style and set of challenges. From the dense jungles of Congo Jungle to the icy slopes of Gorilla Glacier, every world offers a unique experience. The seamless transition between these diverse environments adds a layer of immersion, keeping players engaged throughout their journey. At its core, Donkey Kong Country is a platformer, and the level design excels in delivering a satisfying platforming experience. The levels are filled with meticulously placed platforms, ropes, vines, creating a dynamic playground for players to navigate. Precision jumping, rolling through enemies, and swinging from vines are just a few of the challenges players face as they progress. Exploration is not only encouraged, but rewarded in Donkey Kong Country. The levels are rife with hidden secrets, bonus rooms, and alternate paths. Sharp-eyed players might discover hidden barrels that launch them into bonus areas filled with extra lives, bananas, and even rare items. This not only adds replay value, but also enhances a sense of discovery. The levels aren't static, they're alive with interactive elements that keep the players on their toes. From crumbling platforms and swinging vines, the dynamic nature of the environment adds an extra layer to the challenge. Adaptability becomes crucial as players traverse these levels, making each playthrough a unique experience. Donkey Kong Country introduces memorable underwater and minecart sequences that break the traditional platforming mold. Underwater levels bring a change of pace, with swimming mechanics and unique enemies. Minecart levels, on the other hand, challenge players' reflexes as they navigate high-speed tracks, requiring split-second decisions to avoid obstacles and enemies. And the level design in DKC goes beyond the traditional left-to-right progression. Some levels incorporate vertical exploration, encouraging players to climb vines, ascend platforms, and discover hidden paths. This adds a refreshing dimension to the gameplay, keeping the experience dynamic and unpredictable. In essence, the level design in Donkey Kong Country is a masterclass in creating a captivating and challenging platformer. The diverse environments, hidden secrets, interactive elements, and the clever use of vertical and horizontal exploration contribute to the timeless appeal of the classic. Now, as we continue our expedition through Donkey Kong Country, let's shift our focus to one of the game's most enduring and celebrated aspects, the musical masterpiece created by the legendary David Wise. The soundtrack of Donkey Kong Country is more than just background music. It's an integral part of the game's identity, enhancing the atmosphere and creating an unforgettable auditory experience. David Wise's genius shines through in the way that he captures the essence of each environment. From the rhythmic beats of the jungle to the haunting melodies of the caves, the soundtrack perfectly complements the on-screen action. Wise's ability to evoke specific moods through music adds an extra layer of immersion, making players feel like they are truly connected to the world of Donkey Kong Country. Let's take a moment to appreciate some of the most iconic tracks that have become synonymous with DKC. Jungle Hijinks, the level's first theme, sets a tone with its upbeat and adventurous melody. Aquatic ambiance, the underwater level theme, immerses players in a serene and atmospheric soundscape. And who could forget Gangplank Galleon, the triumphant and energetic final boss theme that accompanies the epic showdown with King K. Rool. What makes the soundtrack truly exceptional is its dynamic adaptation to the gameplay. The music seamlessly transitions between exploration, intense moments, and boss fights, enhancing the player's emotional connection to the on-screen action. This dynamic adaptation ensures that the music is not just a backdrop, but an active participant in the overall gaming experience. The impact of Donkey Kong Country's soundtrack extends far beyond the game itself. His compositions have been ingrained in gaming culture, with fans remixing and reinterpreting the tracks across various media. The legacy of the soundtrack is evident in the continued appreciation and recognition it receives, even decades after the game's initial release. Donkey Kong Country introduces players to an array of enemies, each with its unique behaviors and challenges. The enemies are not just obstacles, they're characters with distinct personalities. Rare's attention to detail in enemy design contributes to the overall charm and immersion of the game. And, in addition to the crumbling foes, the levels themselves pose environmental challenges that keep players on their toes. From rolling boulders in the caves to crumbling platforms in the temples, the game's environmental hazards require quick thinking and precision. Navigating through these perilous obstacles adds an extra layer of intensity to the platforming experience. And we can't forget about the epic boss fights, the pinnacle of each world that tests players' skills and strategy. Donkey Kong Country doesn't just throw tougher enemies at you, it introduces memorable and often quirky bosses. Take Very Naughty, the oversized beaver, for instance. The battles are not just about defeating the boss, but also understanding their patterns and adapting your strategy accordingly. Players face off against the nefarious King K. Rool himself. King K. Rool's various forms and tactics add a layer of unpredictability, making each showdown a memorable and rewarding experience. Well, as we wrap up our exploration of Donkey Kong Country for the Super NES, it's clear that this game is a masterpiece that has stood the test of time. Groundbreaking graphics, engaging gameplay, unforgettable soundtrack, it all continues to captivate gamers decades after its release. And if you haven't experienced the magic of Donkey Kong Country, I highly recommend giving it a play. When I think back on the game, I feel like Master Neki was my favorite boss battle, but let me know your favorite boss battle in the comments. And as we wrap up our exploration of Donkey Kong Country for the Super NES, it's clear that this game is a masterpiece that has stood the test of time. Groundbreaking graphics, engaging gameplay, unforgettable soundtrack, they all continue to captivate gamers decades after its release. And if you haven't experienced the magic of Donkey Kong Country yourself, I highly recommend giving it a play. Well, thanks for joining me on this journey through gaming history. Don't forget to hit that like button. Consider subscribing for more gaming content, including retro, Super Mario World Kaizo, horror, or anything else that tickles our fancy. And let me know in the comments your thoughts, experience, and any other retro games you'd like to see us explore. Until next time, stay dandy.